Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to another episode of the Paris 13 Atletico Safe, where we look to do it better than PSG, and we, obviously in the Nog League to Legend French edition, are here with a game against Porto in the league, in the Champions League, followed by a recap of our game against PSG in 3 days' time, and then we've got Bayern, the big boys from Germany, in our second live game of the episode in the phase part of the Champions League. Since we last met, I'm still pretty sick. If you watch the last, couple of episodes, you would have seen my CVB a bit down in terms of sounding. I'm still quite blocked, so if I do sound off, do apologise. At least my throat isn't as sore and as screechy. My throat has seemed to recover, but everything's kind of gone into the head. So if you suffer from sinus infections, etc., do let me know in the comment section down below, and just give it a like for the fact that I'm busting myself whilst being able to get in and get out some YouTube content. And more importantly, we are live on stream for the first time this year. I felt well enough to press the live button. So there you are as well. Thank you very much for the follow there, Nikolai, where you're watching from as well. But let's recap some results since we last met, which obviously was the game there against Mainz. We beat FCSM 3-0, Toulouse 2-0, and then in the biggest game just gone, we absolutely smacked OJ Nice at home in the 4-3-3. We dominated Tucello, scoring the pick of the goals, which was the first one. Our first goal for our first game on stream. We actually broke the duck of not winning our first game on stream, which was nice, is a peach. Because he picks the ball up here, and he drives inside, and bang, top bin. Thank you. Niceties. Now, please do note, we do play PSG in a couple of days. This might be our first year where we can maybe challenge them for the title. Been brewing, finished third the last couple of years, been only 10 points off here or there. This has been our best start. We do play PSG and then Rennes, and we just played OJ Nice, which is a tough run of games. We've now developed a 4-3 that might be able to stand up to them, judging for what we saw in the Trophy League Champions. Even though we lost 4-0, we played very well. Which makes me think that as much as this Porto game's important, maybe we can rotate slightly, go full strength against PSG and see what happens, because then we get a week's break before we play Rennes, and then we play Bayern only 2 days later. So it's pretty hard, which makes me say that we are slightly rotating from what our normal side would be. We are going to go with the possession-based 4-3-3, because with this picked lineup, I can move Kingsley Coman, who is old and does lack pace, to the right, and then get him to halftime and actually bring Maxime Chevalier on, because this kid is made to play as a winger, and he's very quick and was one of the main reasons we brought him in. But secondly, we've played so well in this system. We just battered OJ Nice, etc. Even though we're slightly rotated, I still think we're going to be in a very good game. Now, Areola picked, loves a big game. Did play in the Champions League game against Mainz, I do believe. There we are. Yes, in great form. Zeno loves a big game. Diallo's been in fantastic form. I've got nothing against Diallo. I think he's been superb. Just more so, let's pick the more experienced player. See what happens. Inguez is obviously our best player, alongside with Bakayoko, who's now happy because Man City no longer want him. Ferland Mendy, one of the main reasons we brought him in was to be an experienced player that's played at this level before. Yes, Casello in great form. We'll probably play Casello unless Mendy puts in a man-to-match performance here and comes up very good in the next 2 days to play PSG. Kenner in the hot, Melba Light and Ravella, they've been great together. Have options off the bench. Hopefully we'll be okay. Koeman is in for Dosu only because trying to rest Dosu for PSG, because he would definitely start against PSG unless we go 4-3 and we decide Dosu plays off instead of Chevalier. But I would play Dosu as a winger in that system, because he's pretty good at what he does, and he's having a very good year, which is great. It's at 7.9, 5 assists this year. Mokoku up top's been killing it, 8 goals and 7 appearances in the league. It's a pretty good team. Now, you might be thinking, Damien, why Kingsley Coman? You got a couple of other wingers, and you probably should just start Dosu anyway. I just think this is the year we can win the league, and as much as I don't think this guy's fantastic anymore, loves a big game, has done it in the Champions League before, very experienced, played Porto down the track, you would imagine. So I think getting Kingsley Coman in, even if it's just 45 minutes, 0-0 45 minutes, Dosu comes on, great. 0-0 45 minutes with being dominated, other 4-3 Chevalier comes on, great. I'm just looking for him to get him through 45 minutes so it's less taxing on another player. I'd rather start him than bring him off the bench. I don't think he's quick enough to be an explosive player off the bench to break a game, but he's good enough to start and be part of a team. And then obviously Dosu or Chevalier are quicker, more dynamic, and probably can break a team down or get in behind when teams are tired. So rather start Kingsley Coman. is why we're going with that. Same way with Zeno. If we're getting under the cosh and Diallo wants to get on, we can do that too. Now, we did win our last game in the Champions League. Porto tonight, Porto won theirs, and they won it quite in a funny fashion. So let's go and have a look at how they won it. We're going to go into opposition instructions, have a click on their keeper. There is Argent. He's pretty good, the Coscovian international. But if you go to Porto, go to senior schedule. They've been playing well in this 4-4-2. Did they win their last game? Oh, you bet they did. They played Newcastle and won away at Newcastle. Newcastle battered them, and in the 89th minute, an own goal, and only had one shot on target to win 2-1. So typical FMing. I haven't actually seen the own goal, but let's go and have a look while we're here, and then we'll get into this Porto game and see what happens. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this doesn't happen to us. Now, I will say 4-4-2 is a system that does cost us a lot. Valencia cuts it, and okay, so yeah, one of those ones that happen. All right, anyhow, let's go have a look at the teams there. Carlos, we all know about him. Tommy looks pretty decent there. Kumbala is fantastic, the Albanian still. I would sign him. Costa Simicas, nice player. Antonio Valencia, Anthony Valencia. Stefan, we actually had him at Denmark and sold him for 100 mil. Or was that Metz? That was actually Metz. That was in France. We had him and then sold him for 100 mil. That's a pretty good wing back. I'm not going to lie. He's very good. You should probably be paying at left back. Marco de Grassa always looks good. And Boyadu is very quick. There's people you might know off the bench like Bruno Pereira. You might know him on YouTube, but our Twitch stream does because we tried to sign him. He said he didn't want to come to me, and in the same window, he then went to Porto. Now he's extremely interested in coming to me because he's not playing. Wing back there, Velo's not bad as well. They've got a good side, but, Abkasilla, I think I've seen on a few saves. They're already international. They've got a not bad team. Look, it's a game that if we want to get out of the league phase, this is a game we have to get a point in at the minimum, because then when we play Trabzon and Asteris, we win both of them and we might get to that point tally that gets you inside the top 24. Because there's no way we're going to take points of Bayern. There's no way we're beating Inter either. So, yeah, that's going to be difficult enough in itself. So, away to Porto, we could set up in a way where we played on the break from minute 1 and see how it went. But just because of the form of the team, we've decided to leave it as is. Anyhow, we love the good cut screens. And hopefully we go out there and give it a win. And we do win. And, hopefully me sounding not too sick is not going to impact your experience watching this video. Anyhow, 10 minutes played. I'm looking to get us into, halftime at 0-0, and then we can make some changes for Kingsley Coman, etc. We might actually move him to an inverted winger and play two of them because he's no longer quick enough to play as an inside forward. But he wins a flick on, and that's going to be Mendy's ball. And he finds Mel Belaya. Canna looks over the top for Makoku. He's been in great form. Makoku 1-0. We lead in the Champions League, barring any VAR drama. There isn't. And well, away from home, Benfica beat us 2-0 in the second leg of the knockout stage last year and 4-0 in the phase games here in Portugal. For the first time we score in Portugal in our second year in the Champions League, and Makoku one touch and a great side foot finish. And there we go. I am going to make that change though to move him to an inverted winger there. Do think that suits him a little bit more as well, Coman, as he's losing some speed. I have the hardest draw in the Europa League final stage. Quarterfinals, I've got Juve, and now I'm in the semis, I've got Napoli. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Anyway, Ingles, they squeeze up high, which is fair enough. Mel Belaya, great ball to Ravelli, he can turn and face. Bakayoko, good ball, great ball. I thought it was actually going to bend around to Makoku, who was in, but it wasn't. So it wasn't the greatest ball. But anyhow. Getting the press, and now our press has been really good, but that's a great ball. And Ariola's done enough. The Grasser then went for goal and puts it wide. Look, fair play Ariola. He wants a new contract. I've told him no. He wanted to retire and we talked him out of it, and now he wants a new deal. So you're clearly going to retire at the end of this year anyway, so I'm not putting you on a new deal. Isaias finds Zeno. Isaias again, Zeno, who apparently has the armband on. That doesn't make sense. Melbalai, Ravella, Makoku. Actually, yeah, he does. Dosu's not starting and nor is Collier. Zeno's come in to be the armband. Interesting. Stefan. Capellado. Ball over the top. Zeno's been beat by Boyadu. Ariola, I need you. No Ariola there. 1-1. It's the only issue maybe playing this system, and the only issue against a 4-4-2 is there's probably a touch too much space in behind for Boyadu. But I'd rather us be squeezing. Maybe if Diallo was at the back, he deals with this, but it's a good run. Zeno's beat, and Ariola doesn't save, which would have been nice. As you can see from here, Porto have been the better side in the 4-4-2 as well. They probably do deserve to get it back to level pegging here. Apparently it was only a point 19 XG for that chance for Koku. I'd say that actually is a big chance. So one-on-one where he's clean through and taking a good touch. I would say he has to score that a lot. Valencia on the ball. De Grasa. Z. Carlos. Moves it around. Mendy. Valencia. Cuts it. Need a block. No block. Stefan scores. 2-1. Was speaking maybe switching into the other 4-3-3 here at 1-1 at half-time. Unfortunately, we conceded right on half-time, which is annoying. We've not been good. We've been definitely dominated. And look, I do expect this to happen quite a fair bit here. Been terrible so far. Going to bring Dosso on for Coman. That was always going to be the plan anyway. We can play him as a winger if needs be. We're going to go to the dressing room and start the second half. Feel like we have to leave it like this for now. Nothing really happening. Might actually move us into the 4-2-3-1 is what I might do. Get Melbourne in behind. Go to that. I feel like the second thing I'm going to do is... Zeno's had a stinker. Diallo could come in, but I want him to rest now. There's no point making a defensive change in this game. Melbourne not had the best of the game. Salama's very creative, so maybe we'll get him in. Bakioka's not the best of the game. Maybe we'll get Bested in the Wonder Kid. Make those two changes, see what happens here. Do have to think about that PSG game coming up as well. I don't like throwing away games in the Champions League, but I'm kind of in that mindset that this game's kind of gone. Maybe we go for it. Maybe we just see what happens here. Koku's had a good game and scored. Cunna's dead. Ravella's dead. I might go to up top and move one guy into here. And I'm going to go Collie up top as a pressing forward. And then Yuri's going to come in and be a ball-winning midfielder on defend. And go into that. And that's what we're going to go with. 2 up top, 74th minute. 1 screening midfielder with a 10. Should have been the keeper's ball. If they score from this, I'm going to be livid. Match engine things. Keeper's literally come out to go pick it up, and our right back, who's a great player, decides to head it away out of his hands. Why? 3-1 down. It's all over. Should never be a goal this. Like, look, keeper's move towards it, is about to pick it up, and then Issa just does whatever. It's quite clearly that the keeper's called that out. It's a great finish, but say Jago has probably got no shooting ability whatsoever. Like, can I check that? Tommy St. Jago's got 7 finishing, 9 long sides, which is probably a little bit better than I expected from a centre-back. But never, ever, ever should be finessing the top bins there, you don't think. But he did. Anyway, ball goes long looking for Collie. Doesn't win a flick on what's new. Dosso ain't going to pick that one up. And we lose here in the Champions League, barring some miracles. Is what is. Nearly got it right. Like, if we get in the halftime 1-1, I'll go to the more defensive 4-3-3, and we're loving life. But yeah, Collie making a good run. Makoku on it. Needs runners. Finds Collie. Good save from their keeper. There's a difference there too. They're 1-on-1. Ariel doesn't make a save. In a very similar situation, their keeper does. Maybe it's a mistake playing Ariola. Maybe he's just done. I don't think it's the keeper's fault, to be quite fair to him, though. It's a 1-on-1. It is what it is. But yeah, it's a game where you look at and it's very even, and we've lost 3-1. I don't think we're just... the team's nearly there, but it's not quite there. I would love to know if we played our full string 11, what would have happened, but with PSG coming up in the league and the time, we need to take points of them eventually one day. Can't really afford to not have gone for this. Makoku is not going to get on that. I like the idea, boys. I like the idea. In this system, we are a little bit more direct, so I don't mind this idea. Collier's going to go squeeze, but, with one defensive midfielder, once they get out like that, it's pretty much over. And they're probably going to make it 4-1 now. Boyadu, they've killed us this second half. We're going to concede 4 goals. We nearly did. I was about to say, we might concede 4 goals again here in Portugal. Usually one of the easiest places to come to in Champions League. Like, normally on FM, and this is without me being condescending to any Portuguese followers here, as the ball goes back stick and they might hit us on the break. Usually on Football Manager, you just beat the Portuguese sides every time, no matter who you are. They're just fine. Salama! Well, it wasn't given as a goal straight away, which makes me think that there might be an offside against Salama, but I personally thought he was onside, and it has been given. 3-2, we've made it look respectable at least. Zeno getting an assist, which is not what he's there for. Great ball in. No one's close to even being offside. I don't even know why they decided to try and even think it was offside. But there we are. And this is apparently the camera angle that they're going to give us for that. It's not even close. Highlight one time? Nope. We lose 3-2. We kept it competitive. I guess that's the main thing. But yeah, looking at the stats, we've had better XG, but I will say Salama's chance makes a lot of that XG because he scored inside the 6-yard box. Similar possession, similar pass completion. Yet again, it's another one of those games where you look at the stats and go, oh, that's a really close one that you don't want to lose, that you feel maybe a bit aggrieved in losing. But I think with that loss there, it probably symbols that we're pretty much going to be out of the Champions League group. I know it's only 2 games in. We're in the league phase. We're not beating Inter. We're not beating Bayern, which puts a lot of pressure on me winning against Strasbourg and Asteris. And, you know, they've got some players there that are really good. And I feel like we're missing one team in all of that as well. I was actually pretty happy with that. Okay, the boys were too. That's good. Let me go see who else we got in the thing. My brain's a mess and I'm waddling, but that's mainly because if I stop, I'm going to have to cough, and I don't want to do that. So we've got Porto, Bayern, Newcastle. Yeah, okay, so we're losing. This is how it's going to play out. We're going to lose the Bayern. We're going to lose the Newcastle. Maybe beat Asteras, maybe beat Strasbourg. Lose to Real Madrid. That's the other one. Lose to Inter. It's a very tough draw. So what does that put me on? 9 points if I'm lucky. Look at the league phase last year. How many points did we get to get in? 10. So 3 wins and a draw. That was probably the game we had to look to draw. Maybe we should have went to defensively minded 4-3 for minute 1 and played for a draw. I don't know. Anyhow, it is what it is. I'm going to see you guys in a second to recap the PSG game because I'm not going to give it to you as an episode. But Bayern at home. See what happens. Welcome back, YouTube. We just played PSG in the league. And for the first time in a long while, we did not lose. We got a point. The last time we got a point was actually the final day before we played Spurs in the Conference League final. We fully rotated. PSG won the league the week before, so they fully rotated. And our second choice keeper for the number of years, who was never good enough, kept like 11 saves and kept the clean sheet and got man of the match. Bit different here. We went into defensively minded 4-3. You can tell from the starting 11, we went a more defensive starting 11. When Makoko ain't starting and you're playing Collie, who's just a natural pressing forward, you've gone more defensive. Same way where I've gone Mendy instead of to track Mbappe instead of the youngster Tosello. It happens to be that obviously he makes the mistake to give away the penalty for the goal because FM is just broken. Apparently 35-year-olds just continue to bring people down in the box for whatever reason, even though they're so experienced. We played quite well. Kana played as a box-to-box. Ravella played centre mid on support. Yuri played ball-winning midfielder because he's better at that. We did go for it late stages to try and get a win. You know, Bakokri and Chevalier came on, brought on really late last 10 minutes Melbalai and Salama as to attacking midfielders. But we got what we wanted, which was a point. And look at the cards in this. It was a fiery derby and surprisingly no send-offs. But look, we'll take it. Our goal was a good one. And this is what this 4-3 does. You know, it stifles the opponent, it creates chances, and there we are. Ravella got a ball. He whips it back stick. Bakayoko heads. Good save from Donnarumma, but falls back to Bakayoko. There we are. And then if the game lets me, I'll see the passage of the goal. It's a ball over the top. Mbappe's picked it up here. At no point do I think in any real-world situation that Mendy would bring his man down here. Right? Ever. He's 35. He's just come from Real Madrid. He's an experienced and serial Champions League winner / a serial winner with Real Madrid. There is no world with Mbappe only having one guy to aim at in the box, he's ever going to dive in here because he's got 3 guys that are going to come across and cover him. Yes, Mbappe could beat one of them and then get a goal done, but he's never going to dive in here ever. So to see the match engine do that is really annoying because he's clearly beat. He would never do it. It's a penalty on the 45th minute, so they score in added time, and it's a goal that costs us a famous win. And yet again, I would just question the intelligence of the game and its match engine going, yeah, a 35-year-old would make that foul. You're telling me an 18-year-old wonder kid wouldn't? So it's pinning me for picking good penalty, by the way. It's pinging me for picking a 35-year-old who's still physically not bad. And it's saying, no, you should have played your 18-year-old wonder kid and let it be slicked by Mbappe because, yeah, I still stand by that I made a very good decision. I still stand by that this guy loves a big game, and that's what I pick in that 4-3. Who likes a big game and who's in, and who can do a role and the more experience of it. And we picked Ferland Mendy. He had a good game in general. He kept Mbappe quiet. They kept him that quiet. They moved him to the other side second half. But apparently, the FM's just decided, nah, they're too good. And apparently, 35-year-olds would just chop people in the box for fun. Never would happen ever, I don't think. So, a little bit aggrieved, but if you offered me a point before the game, would have definitely taken it. And I'll see you guys in a second for Bayern Munich, where you guys will get to see this 4-for-3 play, because that's exactly how we're going to line up for the next game against Bayern. Welcome back, YouTube. Bayern Munich, second game here in the league phase. We just played against PSG, obviously, which you've seen, and Rennes, and the Rennes game has made me make a decision here and see what we can do. So, we even went down to 10 men with Isaias, still scored, played outrageously well. Cicelo and Inguez having a great game out. And we've got the best defence in the league. We've only conceded 4 goals all league season. We've virtually played 4-for-3, the aggressive possession-based one. I've got nothing to lose against Bayern. Yes, I probably should play the 4-3 defensive, and yes, if we concede, I probably will move to it. Score. But I think our best form of going out here is actually to go out there and play our football. Get Makoko in the last man, get Dosu in the form he's in, Bakayoko in the form he's in, and go for it. Which makes me think that maybe we should have went for it against, we did go for it against Porto, but, I think that Porto game was so much more of a point that there could have been a point that we could have, maybe have gone for it. Gone and played 4-3-3, sorry, the defensively minded one, which we played against PSG. That PSG game was a forerunner for this one. We got the result we wanted. But I think we're going to go like this, and just the form has been too good for me to refuse here. And they're most vulnerable playing against a 4-3-3. So I think we're going to go after Bayern. Bayern themselves find themselves top. Watch new. If we have a look at their senior team schedule, they've lost 1 game to Stuttgart. What did Stuttgart play? Stuttgart played a 4-2-3 wide and matched them. Interesting. Actually had a very good game against Stuttgart by the looks of it there. Potato, good to see you in the chat. And they drew to Man City, beat Inter. So, yeah, and they run of home. They've also got Liverpool and Newcastle. Jesus. But they got Bohemians and Porto. So, I think Bayern are going to be okay, aren't they? It's Bayern. Be interesting to see what they do. So, they might rotate looking at us as a weaker side. But we'll wait and we'll see. In terms of the team, unchanged. I was going to play the 4-for-3 and pick the same starting line that played against PSG. Changed my mind now. Going to go unchanged. Kim's had a very good year in goal. Isaias, Diallo, Inguez and Cicelo have been fantastic together. Canna's played outrageously well in the deeper line playmaker and support. With Melbourne and Ravello, who are both playing not too bad. Ravello not having as good of a year as last year. Bakayoko's Bakayoko. Man City now want him again. He's just become happy, and now Man City want him again. So, yeah, fun. Dosu and Makoku. It picks itself, that team. If we get pumped, I will put it on myself that we didn't play the defensively minded 4-3-3. But at home, I'm going to go for it. They're going to be a very good side. There's some people that there, that's for sure. There is no pressure on us. This is not a game we're meant to win, but we're going to go out there and see what we can do. Opposition-wise, they got Dennis Seaman in net, who is a fantastic keeper, who's replaced Neuer. Coutinho, a Brazilian international. He should be at centre-back, but yes, that's pretty good at full-back too. I actually think him at full-back's better for us, but yeah. Dayot is pretty good and sees what he can do. Matej de Ligt, looks fantastic as well. Alphonso Davies, Kimmich, he plays until he's like 40-something in game because he's that fit. Declan Rice, another one. Musiala, another one. Antonio Diaflao is a regen that's insane, and there is in the hole. Vinicius Jr. is here as well, ladies and gentlemen. Bought him. And the boy called Sesko. So, yeah, they've got Wilfred Sonogo, who people will know, on the bench sitting there because they can. Maxime Lacroix isn't even playing at centre-back, and he's that good. Another one. Mario Stroikens, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Who's their backup keeper? Sebastian is a regen who, to be fair, is very well-rounded as a regen. If he ever wants to leave to become my backup, I would do it. Anyhow, that's the team. They're very good. Let's see what we can do. We've had some questions in the chat here. Do you think Potter is the right person for the job at My Dim Sim? And apparently Daniel's a Chelsea fan. And the question was at our Dim Sim, who is a mod and a Chelsea fan. He reckons that we never should have sacked Tuchel in the first place. I do agree that Chelsea never should have. Potter doesn't know the players. He's trying to figure it out. Yeah, can't judge Potter this early on. With them sacking Tuchel, they need to write this year off and just say, Potter, do what you need to do. Finish top 4, don't finish top 4. Give him a full year. Get some players in that he trusts. Get a system in. Get them flowing. If they look really bad at the end of this season, because he's had basically a year to work with them, and then they don't start well next year, then he's in some trouble. But Be interesting to see what Chelsea and the new management do. For me, it's all about execution. Whoever does that wins. Look, I've named it unchanged from 3 days ago because they played that well. Big game here. Bayern Munich, Paris 13, Atletico. It's arguably our biggest game we've ever played in the Champions League so far, so there you go. Look, that is a Bayern team that is pumping with talent. Do I expect to win? No. Do I think by going in this system that is done defensively very, very well is better for us? Yes. We might rue to not play the defensively minded 4-3-3, but let's go find out. Bayern in the red. We're in the, just standard black with the green stripe that you don't get to see in the match engine, which is a shame. But let's get underway, and it's an early corner for Kimmich. Ball in, headed away. Melbalai, Delafeu. Melbalai wins it. Can we go on the break maybe? Pumps one away. Bakayoko then heads one back to him as well. Could have taken the ball under control, but we never did. Vinicius, Alphonso Davies on an early booking. Maybe Bakayoko can run at him and get him sent off. But you expect Bayern to be really good on the ball, and as you can see here, zipping in and out, a few passes and combining. Moukoko gets a block on that, and it falls back to Dayot. Of course it does, Upamecano kind of gets lucky. Coutinho, Kimmich, Melbalai wins. We press high and we win the ball. Moukoko, Melbalai, good touch, needs runners, beats a challenge. Melbalai, straight at the keeper. What a highlight, what a moment. 10 minutes in. Melbalai, what a run. Would have been fantastic. Here we are. Kim now picks up the ball. Ingles. They're going to squeeze us, but that's fine. Diallo. Ravella can find it, and now we need Isaias' feet. Bakayoko actually picks that up. Isaias can face forward, needs runners. Bakayoko again turns Alphonso Davies and turns on the Jets and shows why Manchester City want him. Ball in, back stick. Dosu doesn't win that. Declan Rice is going to have time to clear and does, but Isaias picks it up. Bakayoko doesn't come wide for it. Diallo, Canna now. He's good with his feet. Over the top to Moukoko. First time we lead versus Bayern Munich at home in the Champions League 1-0. We'll take it, boys. We'll take it. Isaias back to Diallo. Cannon turns. He loves this role. Into Moukoko's onside. On the half volley. Left peg. Side foot. We lead 1-0. Bayern have had more of the possession, but we've played particularly well so far, first 15 minutes. It'll be interesting to see how we go. Now, the press actually was okay in one of the highlights, so maybe the right choice to play this system. Declan Rice now pumps one over the top. This is where I'm going to get worried. Ingles does well, though. Kim now pumps one looking for Dosu. Not going to win that, and Dosu actually peels off to Coutinho, who's 6'5" and a monster. So, fair enough, mate. I don't think it was even worth challenging that. He might have headed it away, we might have picked it up, but it didn't happen. Alphonso Davies can run and break some pressing. Vinicius dropping in deep. Sesko looked like he was half offside. Blocked, and Kim does well. Diallo got a little block on it, and then Kim diving backwards. Great save. Wasn't offside. Long throw. Kimmich is there, that's a problem. Kimmich has hit the post. From a long throw and a flick on, I would have been livid to concede a Bayern Munich like that. Same amount of shots. Now Bayern have had one more, makes a liar of me. They've had more possession, but we've not looked bad, and that's the main thing. Musiala going on a run. Sisselo doesn't get there. Musiala, what a run. Poor finish. Look, we still lead 1-0, and that's the important thing here. We still lead 1-0. Let's see what we can do. Declan Rice, Kimmich, Melbalai, Delafeu, Coutinho. Well done, Sisselo. Apparently clears it into him. Sisselo's down the line. Looks for Melbalai. Heads down to Sisselo. Great movement. Dosu now needs a pass inside. Ingles, we can build. Canna. Sisselo, turn. Melbalai. Too slow. We were there to play out too. Melbalai turns and plays Dosu there. We're out, and Moukoko can run. Instead, it's 1-0 still. Vinny, good ball over the top. Sesko's in. This is problems. That's a goal. 1-1. 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. 1-1. 33 minutes played by and probably have deserved to get back to level pegging. Bit annoying, that. Good ball over the top. Ingles got absolutely bodied by Sesko, who is a specimen. And there, it's 1-1. We had a moment, though. That highlight came from Melbalai not getting rid of the ball quickly enough. Dosu now. Canna. Melbalai. Ravella. This is better. See the ball movement? 2 touches? Bang, we're out. Bakayoko can run at people. He can cut one. Yes is there. Canna can hit him. Cisello can hit him. We've seen that. He's got to beat his man. Gets a little lucky. Cuts one back stick. Bakayoko just doesn't get there. Poor choice of cross. We have it on whip balls or low crosses, and in the end, he's decided to loop one. Sesko gets in here. I'm going to be livid. Oh, my word. It's just too easy. There's Sesko. Puts it wide. Should have been our highlight, really. Again, they're going to squeeze, and again, we're going to play out because Canna can play Cisello. He went the wrong way. Cisello was so on. Now we need to keep composure. Ravella. At the end of the day, that's a ball and a half. And Bakayoko can run. Mokoku, nowhere near him. Bakayoko heads over the bar. End-to-end game. I've actually enjoyed how we've played so far. Corner, Kimmich. Backstick, looking for Declan Rice, headed away. Canna now goes to press Vinicius Jr. He can beat people. And Vinny turns, finds Declan Rice. Top of the box to Coutinho, who's a centre-back. Dossi, good tackle. Ravella, Mokoku. Bakayoko wants it. Instead, I go the other way. That's okay. Mokoku now getting on a run. Cisello's quick enough to beat people. Numbers inside. Melbalai's one of them. Still going Melbalai. In the box. Mokoku wants it. We lead 2-1. We lead 2-1. 40 minutes played, we lead 2-1. Melbalai, what a run. He's having a worldie of a game, beating people at will. Gets to the byline. Mokoku's there, and there's nothing the keeper can do about that. It's 2-1. We lead. Approaching half-time. Melbalai is unreal. The game reckons he's 2.5 star. I reckon he's world-class. 2-1. What a game so far. Very good half. We're 45 minutes away from a famous victory. What is that system? They've changed into a 4-2-2 with 2 10s. Interesting. Not much width going on there. Coutinho now. Blocked. Upamecano heads, but straight at Kim. Roll it into Canna. Canna's feet. He's not. He's going to go long now. He's taking too long. Does go long. We'll give it Dosu. Oh my. He was there. Got rid of it. And Ravella sweeps up. We've been everywhere in the midfield. Melbalai. Good touch. Coutinho reads it though. Poor ball. Bakayoko. Mokoku. Bakayoko for 3-1. Bakayoko. Oh, it's blocked by Upamecano. He dinked the keeper, but not back. Keeper was on the floor. That would have went in. Bayern have switched. I'm glad they've switched. They looked more dangerous as they were beforehand. 62 minutes played. Ravella with a tackle falls to him. Only problem is they're going to have a lot of people to combine with and press, but that's a ball and a half out to Dosu. We are looking good. Mokoku, is he there? Oh, he misses. That's a bad miss too. $67 minutes played. Dosu's not had a good game. Canna's looking dead. Options. I think Yuri comes in here as a ball-winning midfielder straight away on defend. I think he comes in, he sits in, he doesn't do much. Cisello's had a pretty okay game, but I think Mendy now comes on as the more experienced player. Melbalai is out of his skin, so I don't want to take him off. Bakayoko looked good. Dosu's not had a particularly good game. I actually think Chevalier as an inverted winger on attack and just get him running at people with his pace is going to come in here. Or we could have gone Collie, like for like. Maybe we do go Collie. Is a different option. And there we go. Couple changes. Yuri's a bigger boy. Collie's Collie. Yuri can do his thing. At some point, we're going to have to switch. But we're playing so well in this system, why would we switch? Collie off the bench. Could you imagine? Oh, what a save. Man, do I ever switch out of this 4-3-3? I was thinking going a more defensively minded 4-3-3, but we're killing them. We are killing them. 77 minutes, Kimmich. Free kick. Great save from Kim. Goes along looking for Collie, which is fair enough because he's a bit taller, but Brandon has just come on, will clean up. Kimmich now. Picked off by Inguez. Mistake. Wow. Musiala. They have shot the bed there because that should have been a pass inside the Sesko and game over. Don't go long, please. Look at Yuri's feet. Play your 10. Yuri needs to crunch, doesn't crunch. If they score here, because our keeper's gone long 3 different times in this highlight, or twice maybe, Delafeu, Rice, Davies, numbers queuing, ball to Delafeu. That's annoying. I'm actually going to bring Chevalier out here as a winger in attack. Main reason is I think with pace, get him going. That's what we're going to do. Melbourne's dead. Salama's going to come in. He's light for like in there. 10 minutes to go. 2-2. Bayern. Stats-wise, they will say they're not lucky, but I think they've been lucky there. They've not played particularly well. Chevalier, this is what we brought him on for. 19 pace, or whatever it is. Go, running at people, still going. The youngster, the 19-year-old from France. Forced the save out of the keeper. What a run. I wish he took him down the line. Bayern are out on their feet. We've got pace now. Long throw, Salama flicks. Mokoku on his left peg. Ferland Mendy, why would you pass? Urinia. Ball out to Isaias. Maxine got to play his feet. He never got going. Why? Isaias now cuts it. Mokoku, left peg. Mokoku hits the bar. Oh, what a game. What a game. 90 minutes played. Is there going to be drama with 5 minutes of added time? Surely there will be. There isn't. What a game. What a match. 2-2 in the most end-to-end thrilling game we've played in the Champions League yet. And if you look at the stats, XG-wise, we maybe should have shaded it. Bayern had more chances. And I didn't think we played bad, and their goal was well taken by Delafeu, but it's 2 times Kim's gone long there, which I don't like. I will say they did squeeze, because they had 4 guys inside that maybe didn't want to play it. And, you know, going long there, winning the second ball isn't bad. So I don't think it's really a goalkeeping mistake. It was more that, think because you've given the ball back to him twice, this is where you need to just trust Yuri's feet. Yuri takes it and just plays the wing back straight away. 1 touch wing back. Now, you might, if you want to go long, you've got actually someone down the line to punt to. Chevalier nearly came on and made himself a hero there. Do really wish in that last highlight, Isaias held it up for Chevalier to run, or Chevalier just made the run initially. We played him with the speed. What a game. Melbourne, eat your heart out. Deserves to be man of the match, this boy. I thought he was fantastic. But yeah, 2-2. What a point. That's a huge point. It's a very satisfying point, boys. No one gave us a chance. It's a vindication to play the aggressive 4-3-3 there, because it's been so good in the league and defensively solid. We made Bayern go from wide to 4 guys inside to stop us playing out, because we played out that well. That was superb. That was absolutely superb. What a tie against Bayern. That puts us on 4 points. Look, I will say Newcastle are probably going to beat us, right? Because it's Newcastle. Don't even see him on this ladder here. They're 34th. They're yet to win. They've only played 2 games, though, so they've got another game coming up. And they got absolutely FM by Porto, so they don't deserve to lose that. But yeah, we get 801k for the draw against Bayern. That's huge for the balance in the football club. And there you go, boys. There you go. That was, as Young Jai says, he's come from the YouTube to watch this, because he's been watching mainly on YouTube because it's Portuguese. That is one of the best games that we've played. That he said. I'm not gassing up. Not gassing up. That's what he said. One of the best games the boy has seen. I would agree. Apparently I've pinned a comment. Okay. There we go. I didn't mean to do that, but there we are. That is superb. With that being said, give the episode a like, just for A, me filming it being sick, and B, for the fact that we did that against Bayern Munich. If we could play like that against Newcastle, you never know. You never, ever, ever know. In saying that, though, next time we're going to see each other for this Champions League is going to be... I don't know. Maybe I'll give you all 3 of these games, because they're so important for us to get out the phase. Don't feel like I should. I think the Newcastle game is massive now, so we're going to give you the Newcastle game. I think we're going to give you the Strasbourg game and recap the Asteris game is what we're going to do. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.